Good morning and welcome. Today we are in Jægerspris at Jægerspris Castle, and today for the walking we have the classical collection of people, Peter, Åge and Gitte once again. The area around Jægerspris used to belong to the crown. The castle was built here during Christian IV, but it was most famous for when Fredrik VII, the Danish king, moved here with his new wife, a commoner. They fled from Copenhagen, and after that the Countess Danner stayed here, and it was made an orphanage at some point, but a beautiful park you can go visit. And from here we have 6.8 kilometers to the Oaks. We'll talk about them later. As it's very common in Danish forest, you'll find these tombs. This is from 3,000 years before Christ. Really old one. You can go in. It's 5 kilometers, the classic coffee stop, and Peter brought cake. Well, Peter brought rum with the rum cake, so cheers. During the Napoleonic Wars, Denmark was dragged into this mayhem, and the British Navy came to totally destroy the Danish Navy in 1807. The king ordered oak trees to be planted, so they had trees for future ships to be built. But it takes 150 years, or more like 200. So in Denmark we have left more than 16,000 fleet oaks around, scattered in the forest in north of Copenhagen. And this is one of the places, and we'll see a lot of these really old oak trees that were meant to be a ship at some point. And thanks to the British, we can now enjoy these beautiful creatures in our forests. Look at the size of this. Huge. When all these oaks were planted, it was stipulated that you had to inform the Majesty when the trees were ready to be used for building ships. So just a few years back, after 200 years, one of the foresters wrote the Queen, "Madam, the trees are ready." One of the really old oak trees, the king oak, between 1,500 and 2,000 years old. That was the first 15 kilometers, and we're not having lunch today because we're having lunch in Hundested. Very important. But now we are on our way to the ferry so we can cross the fjord. We are now in coal houses. Here they sailed out all the lumber and the charcoal that was made in the forest right behind us. So it's an old port. We're going to cross the ferry, going to cross the fjord to Sørlager, and then we're going to walk to Hundested. If you look at the ferry, you will understand why my drone is not up now. As you can see, we do have some wind today and waves. On this side, there's not a lot of wind, but as soon as we get around the corner, there'll be lots of wind and excellent conditions for windsurfers and kite surfers. 21 kilometers. That's half a marathon. Now it's time for Fernebranca. Skål, drenge. Cheers. We have arrived in Hundested, dog place, because of the seals that used to be on the banks outside. 23.8 kilometers. That was a walk of today. See you walking next week. See you again.
Skål. Det er god dag.